Welcome back, friends. It is Sunday, January 8th. We are kicking off the second week of the Three Rivers Challenge, and I feel like I say this every night, but we're hangry. We are hungry. Yep. And everyone's here.
We're very hangry.
Yep. All right, feed Marley. We have been outside for the last couple of hours in the woods at our property, just kind of hanging out. And it's cold, it's kind of rainy, it's chilly. It is the perfect night for like a French onion soup, really good kind of warm, comforting meal. But we're having salad because that's what I had planned on for tonight. So, but not just any salad. We are going to have a delicious salad. I've got some red leaf and green leaf lettuce that I had purchased from the store. So we're going to use the lettuce that I had purchased a week ago. I've got red onion, avocado. I've got turkey breast that I vacuum sealed and froze back in December from a turkey that I roasted in December. Artichoke heart, sun-dried tomatoes, croutons, bacon, hard-boiled egg. You want to take a guess what we're making?
Salad.
Yeah, what kind?
Italy.
Not Italian salad. Cobb salad. Cobb salads for dinner tonight. So we're going to start getting this all put together.
Does it have to be a perfect size?
No, it doesn't have to be perfect.
I want to get mine a little perfect. Is that good?
That's good. Put it like on the lettuce though. There you go. And because we're going to line everything up on each plate on the lettuce, okay?
Okay. So pull me over.
We'll be right there, honey. Hold on.
Oh, can I try that too?
Oh, and then you're going to put the...
Can I try
You're
that
going to
too?
do a different job. And you're going to put the egg next to the turkey.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I try that? Patsy, some of the artichokes cold.
Let her try
They're all
one.
gone.
Okay, take one off your plate, Harper.
I'm seeing the juice.
You're going to scoop it out and put it in a line.
I really eat all the cold.
Next to the egg. Can you do that? Okay. So if you can put that one on your plate.
Fill in the gaps.
Okay, Harper, can you put croutons on the edge of the plate? Or in the middle is fine. Either one, actually. Wherever it looks nice. Do you guys want red onion on yours?
Oh, sure. No, mine's.
Okay. Alright, that's good, Cole. Are there just crumbs or are there actual croutons?
This is the only actual crouton.
Oh, are you serious? It's all crumbs?
Mm-hmm. There's
Oh.
barely any.
I did not know that. Alrighty. Well, thank you.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best day of my life.
One of the videos in 2023 is with us.
Each get one piece, crumble it into pieces on your plate. Yep, just like that.
So it's like you're crumbling Play-Doh. Or paper. Or yeah, paper.
Some blue cheese.
I don't like blue cheese.
You don't have to have any. This is homemade blue cheese. And
Can I actually try it
Yeah.
before I put it on?
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Yes, of course.
Because I don't know if I actually like it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Good. This that you're making right now? Gonna be good.
I love my mom too. You know why? Because she's the best mom in the world. She cooks. She does laundry. She makes my bed. She gives me my cough drops, my cough gummies. She's the best mom of all time.
Did you want some, Harper?
No. Look behind you, Chloe.
Harper, do you just want oil and vinegar or do you want ranch?
I want ranch.
Okay.
Oil. And no vinegar.
Okay, so for dressings, my son's doing oil and vinegar. I'm making a ranch for my daughter here with a little bit of yogurt, sour cream, and our homemade dry ranch mix. I think I'm gonna have fire cider with a little olive oil for my dressing. And my husband is making his own version of ranch also.
It would have tasted good and it would have been fine.
Dinner is served. Hey friends, it is Monday, January 9th. It is a gorgeous day out today. I'm just really happy. And you know why? I do know why. I can't even say I don't know why. It's because I'm getting to start to think about the summer gardens and what I'm gonna grow and laying the gardens out. I've been doing that over the last few days just in my brain and then on paper. And I am so excited. I don't know, do you get that way? I love gardening. It like speaks to my soul every year. And I've been gardening for a long time, starting on a very small scale and then every year kind of expanding. I don't know, I can't explain it. But this is one of those reasons I love it. This is a tromboncino squash. It's starting to get some spots on it just a little bit, but it still feels pretty firm. It's held up really well in our pantry. This sucker is at least 2 to maybe 2.5 feet long. So a tromboncino squash. And I grew this in our garden last summer. And I went back through my pictures because I wanted to actually tell you the right month. But I harvested this in June of 2022. And so it has lasted in our pantry for 7 months now, almost 7 months. I love that. So I'm gonna give my tromboncino a hug before we cut this open and use it for our dinner tonight. I was saving this for the 3 Rivers Challenge. So every time I wanted to use it in the last 7 months, I was like, no, I can't do it. I need to save it for the challenge and see how long it lasts. And I'm really pleased with this. So this is a variety I will be growing this coming summer as well. Update, the salad last night, so good. My family, I don't think I've ever made them a Cobb salad before apparently, but my family devoured it. They loved it. And so, you know how I had mentioned it was like a cold, dreary night and soup would have been good, but we had our salad. Tonight we're gonna have a beef stew. It's a beautiful day, but still a little chilly, and Mondays are always really hectic for all of us with kids' activities after school and coming home and just needing to have dinner ready. So Mondays are always a night where I try to make something during the day and then I'm able to leave it, right? Kind of like set it and forget it and leave it until we need it and it's ready to go. And so tonight we're gonna have beef stew. I pulled out 2 pounds of stew meat from the freezer last night. So I've got that over there near the stove and we're gonna sear that and cook that first. I've already got a bowl of veggies chopped. It's just onions, celery, garlic, and carrot. I also got 2 portobello mushrooms on the counter here that I've chopped from my grocery shopping trip on January 1st. I have 1 quart of home canned beef stew from last May. I might need to open another quart, and then we're gonna chop up the squash. So we're just gonna get this all in a Dutch oven, let it sear the meat, and then let it like just kind of come together and all the flavors, and it's going to be delicious. So let's get the meat started first. Okay, I also turned my oven to 375. Okay, while the meat is searing, I'm just gonna get a really good sear on one side, flip it into the other side. While that's going, I'm gonna start chopping and cutting up our squash. And I don't think I'm going to be using the whole squash, which is okay. That means it'll make 2 meals and we'll just use it again in something else this week or next. So you probably saw all of those really good brown bits at the bottom of the pan when I took the meat out. You want to always leave that in and incorporate that into your cooking because it adds such depth. This is where you could also add about a cup of red wine and help get those brown bits in as well as add more flavor. I'm actually going to add a splash of balsamic vinegar. Basically, the acid really just helps get all of that flavor off the bottom, as well as add just really good flavor with the beef stock. Balsamic vinegar or red wine vinegar would be my choice. So I just put that in, oven's at 375. I'll probably keep it at 375 for about an hour. And then in an hour, I'll turn it down to 350 and I'll leave it in the oven for probably about 2 hours. And then I'll turn the temperature off because I'll have to leave the house, but I'm not gonna take it out of the oven. So that way when we get home, it's still really warm. The meat will be wonderfully tender because it'll have been in there for about 3 hours. Really just perfect. So we'll see you when it's dinner time. Dinner is served. Hey friends, it is Tuesday, January 10th day of the Three Rivers Challenge, and it is around lunchtime, taking a break from my workday to get dinner started. Dinner tonight was not on the original menu. As we're going through the weeks, I kind of have to look in the fridge to see what's partially opened, right? What needs to be used up and what are we gonna make with it? And that's what I'm doing tonight. So I have some portobello mushroom caps that I had purchased back on January 1st. So they need to be used, right, when I went to the grocery store that one day. So we're going to stuff them. I pulled out a pound of ground pork from the freezer last night. It's perfectly thawed now in my bowl here on the counter. We're gonna add some spices to that and to make that into an Italian sausage, a mild Italian sausage. I want you to really think about doing this yourself, right? Rather than going and buying a package of a certain type of sausage, just buy ground pork. You might actually save some money and you can control what goes in it. I really love doing that. So it's gonna be very easy. I'll show you that. But we're going to stuff our portobello mushrooms with the sausage. I've got some marinara in the fridge. I've got some mozzarella cheese, I got breadcrumbs, and so I'm just gonna do like an Italian stuffed portobello. And then on the side, I still have a bunch of lettuce left over from our cobb salad the other night. So we're also gonna have a salad. I think I need to make some breadcrumbs. I'm gonna make a dressing. And then we're also having potatoes. I found this recipe online, I think last night, called melting potatoes. I've got some russet potatoes. You can use russet or Yukon Gold, and I've got some in the fridge. I'm gonna slice them up into, I think, 1-inch discs is what I read. We're gonna melt some butter, some thyme, salt and pepper, coat them, bake them. Then we add in garlic with a little chicken stock, and I guess the potatoes absorb the garlic mixture, the liquid, and it becomes this beautifully crispy potato on the outside, but supposedly melts in your mouth on the inside. That's dinner tonight. Stuffed mushrooms, potatoes, and salad. So we're first going to start with making our sausage. Now I use Jill Winger's book, the Prairie Homestead book. On page 91, she has a recipe in here for Italian sausage. And this is really kind of what I go off of. And it starts with 1 pound of ground pork. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. 1 teaspoon garlic powder. I'm just going to eyeball this one because you can never have too much garlic. 1 teaspoon onion powder. I don't have onion powder. I actually have dehydrated onion granules, which you've seen me use a lot. I love them. 1 teaspoon dried basil. It's so great to have this recipe on hand and do something like this, right? Because you can use dried herbs. You don't have to have the fresh herbs. 1 teaspoon dried oregano. 1/2 teaspoon of Redmond real salt. 1/2 teaspoon fennel seeds. 1/2 teaspoon crushed red pepper. This is optional. 1 tablespoon red wine vinegar. And 1/2 teaspoon fresh black pepper, ground black pepper. I'm just going to use a spoon to mix all this together. This is also a really great use for some of those food grade hand gloves. I often have a box of those in our kitchen because I use them all the time. Really for this kind of purpose, right? Mixing up raw meat with some sort of spices and everything. But I'm out. I don't feel like putting my hands in because this meat is cold and I'm cold. That's why I have my jacket on. So I'm just going to use a spoon and mix this all up. Okay, that's done. So simple, literally takes minutes. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator because I'm not ready to cook anything yet. Now, it's usually a good idea to go ahead and season your meat like this. You can do it anywhere up to 24 hours in advance, a few hours in advance. And if you're running like really little on time, you can do it right before your cook. Like I could literally just go cook this right now if I needed to. I like to think if I have the time that having it meld together in the refrigerator helps the flavors to really come together, but also allows the dried herbs to rehydrate. But again, if you're pressed with time, it's okay to go right ahead and into the cooking immediately. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do just to get a head start on dinner is to make our dressing. I'm going to make a vinaigrette. Now, another thing, again, if you've been following the channel, you understand that I don't buy salad dressings. In fact, I have a whole playlist on some homemade dressings that I'll link above where you can go learn how to make your own dressings. Salad dressings are one of those things that are so easy to make, and you can play around with the different flavors to make it what you want. And the stuff in the store, usually loaded with unnecessary amounts of oil, let alone possibly the wrong types of oil, and sugar and preservatives, right? Maybe things you just don't need. So we're gonna make our own dressing today. I'm gonna make a lemon thyme vinaigrette, and that's what we're gonna use on our salad tonight. Okay, so all I have here is 1 lemon, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, Redmond real salt. I have some sun-dried tomatoes just because I'm gonna use the oil in here. And then I have dried thyme, 2 cloves garlic, and the smallest shallot known to man. I grew this shallot though in our garden last year, and I am not letting that sucker go to waste. I have one of those, what is it, good seasonings container. This is what I use to make our dressings, and then, you know, it has this little lid to pour with it. I've probably had this thing for 10 years now, but you can use a mason jar as well. You don't need anything fancy. So I'm just gonna start with mincing the shallot and the garlic. Okay, once you're satisfied with the mincing, go ahead and put it in your mason jar or whichever container you're gonna use for your dressing. I find it's best to just put everything in whatever you're gonna use to serve. Cuts down on unnecessary dishes and added steps. All right, I'm gonna cut and juice my lemon. So I'm doing the juice of 1 lemon. Some fresh ground black pepper. Pinch of Redmond real salt. A pinch of dried thyme. When I say a pinch, what, maybe half a teaspoon, I'm thinking. I'm going to add in some of my olive oil. Now, if I get some of the tomato bits in there, whatever, I'm okay with it. You can just use regular olive oil if you'd like. I'm probably adding about 3 tablespoons. This dressing is just gonna last us for tonight. I don't expect there to be a lot of leftovers. I'm gonna add a splash of apple cider vinegar. Vinaigrette dressings go a long way. Sometimes I feel like with the creamier dressings, you need a little bit more. Not only to necessarily evenly coat your salad, but people tend to gravitate towards those creamy dressings and putting a lot more on. Whereas vinaigrettes, this is gonna last just fine for the 4 of us tonight. I don't expect you need a lot of vinaigrette, but if there is any left over, it lasts in the refrigerator perfectly fine. Give it a good shake, and that's it. There's your dressing. So that's what we're gonna use tonight. I'm just gonna leave this on the counter. Again, we're not eating dinner for a few hours, so the flavors will come together really nicely in here as well. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do just to get prepped for dinner is make some croutons. Now, 2 nights ago when we had our cobb salad, we had that big bag of croutons from Costco, and that bag has probably been in there at least 4 or 5 months. But as I found out literally while we were filming, somebody had been eating the croutons. I don't know if it was the kids or my husband, but all that was left in the bag was crumbs. So that bag is long gone, and we need to make some croutons. So I've got half a loaf of sourdough here left. I made another loaf from that loaf I made in the very beginning of the challenge. This is already our 2nd loaf, 10 days. We go through about a loaf a sandwich loaf, I should say, every, I'll say like 5 to 6 days. And so I'm going to cut some of this up. We're going to make some croutons, and then I'm probably going to make some more bread this weekend. And just like I had promised, it is on my list. I am going to film how to make a sourdough sandwich bread as part of the 365 bread challenge, and a yeast sandwich bread. So stay tuned, that is coming. I'm gonna hopefully do that this weekend. I'm just gonna cut some slices off here, cut it into cubes, put the cubes in bowls, and I'm gonna season it with salt, pepper. I have my ranch mix. This is what I used the other night, by the way, for my daughter's cobb salad dressing with yogurt and sour cream, was this homemade ranch mix. I believe I have a video for this, so click above, because I do think I have a video for this. All this is the dehydrated garlic powder, onion granules, basil, oregano, chives. It's like a homemade ranch mix. It works wonderfully. I'm going to use some of this to season our croutons. I'm estimating about 1 crouton's worth of slice of bread per person, so that's why I cut 4. Making croutons is one of those things that is so easy. It really is. It just starts with quality ingredients, right? Just like anything else. So quality bread and quality olive oil, seasoning, salt. So I'm just gonna mix that up. You really want to get your bread, I don't want to say soaked, but you know, coated with some good olive oil. And then you want to put your spices and seasonings on. And I'm actually just going to let it sit here in the bowl for about an hour while I go back to my work day. And then I'll come back and I'll put this in a very low heated oven. Because while you do want your breadcrumbs to dry out, right, and have everything kind of flavor kind of stay in, you don't want to burn. So my hand's really oily here, so I was trying to do this with one hand. So it's important that you do it on a very low setting in the oven. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this here. I'll come back to it in about an hour or so. We'll put the oven around 250, and then we'll put these on the parchment sheet, cookie paper, and in the oven. You get it? It's very itchy. Okay. One more thing I want to do today. I need to make some snacks for my kids, because whether they're at school or they're tracked out and they're going to some sort of camp, I always send them with their lunch, and they usually also have to have 2 snacks. And because we're not shopping right now, and I can't really go buy cheese sticks or granola bars, things that I would probably normally have on hand. I try to have some convenient, healthy items, but I need to make something now because I can't go to the store. So in our last Azure order, I got an entire bag of the Heritage O's. I've got a tiny bit from the last bag. I've got peanut butter here. I'm going to make something I hadn't made before, but I think they're gonna like it, which is peanut butter O's bars, which is basically a half a cup of peanut butter. You could use sun butter as well if there's a peanut allergy. A half a cup of honey. I'm gonna add a splash of vanilla extract, and then 3.5 cups of the O's. We're gonna mix it all together. I have a 9x13 Pyrex dish here lined with parchment paper. We're just gonna shove it in. It's like a no-bake recipe, and then kind of form it to the pan and let it kind of all come back together, and then I can cut it into bars And then that's going to be some snacks for this week and next. So it's not going to take long, but I wanted to show you, bring you along and give you an idea for maybe your family. All right, so I've already got half a cup of peanut butter in my bowl here. I put it in the microwave a little bit just to help soften it up. So you might need to do that yourself. I'm gonna add in about a half a cup of honey. A splash of vanilla extract. I'm going to start with mixing that up. Okay, let's start adding in our oats. I need about 3.5 cups. Okay, and mix this around. That looks pretty good. All right, let's get it in here. Rather than putting my hands in it, I think it's going to be very sticky, I'm going to use the other side of the parchment paper. How easy was that? So I have a feeling I'll be making more of these because it only made half a pan with me doing it that way. But I'm gonna stick this in the refrigerator just to let it really harden up a bit so that I can easily cut it into bars. It's 7 o'clock. Once again, we're eating kind of late, but salads are done. Very simple. I just dressed the lettuce, added some pepper, Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of leftover turkey breast from the other night. My husband's not home yet for dinner, so that's why I've only made 3. We're going to start with our salads while the potatoes and the stuffed portobellos are still in the oven.
Nothing in my salad except for the pill. That's all.
Dinner is served.